Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with your final match here in HCS Atlanta. So happy to be watching Quadrant and BitterSweet going at it, and I expect this not to be a 3-0. I expect it not to be a Game 4. With our luck, it's going to be a Game 5 because I feel like we always cast Game 5.
We always get Game 5s. It didn't happen on the main stage here today, but it's usually the case online, but we'll see if that happens here against this BitterSweet roster. We're talking about a Quadrant roster that started off the tournament really strong, taking SSG to that Game 5.
Whoa, what a big backsmack come out of Manny right there. That should have been an easy overshield grab for Snipedrone. Manny seemingly come out of nowhere, and the fact that he even has overshield right now is actually downright criminal. That was a robbery we just saw.
I really like that play by Glory's, right, in terms of robbery. You talked about it. He stole away that OS from Manny, and it's because he took a nice route through the bottom side. Manny was like, I'm just going to leave him here. He comes back, re-chows, and now it's BitterSweet with that 2-cap advantage.
30-70 in favor of BitterSweet at the moment. We're seeing some long-range shots coming out of Kuhlect. Despite being one shot, he's still putting down damage from across the map, and Manny is going to be the one to clean it up, and it looks like BitterSweet. Ooh. Better be careful there, Kuhlect.
A little slippery that ledge is, apparently. Kuhlect stays alive, though, and this is the player I'm kind of watching, Tony, right? I just feel like he has a chip on his shoulder just a bit, you know, getting removed from that pure roster in place of Cherish. I think he's, you know, coming here with something to prove, so I'm looking for him to step it up against the Quadrant roster, who looks phenomenal this event so far.
To be honest with you, I feel like everybody from BitterSweet should feel that way. You know, Manny was also dropped off of that pure roster. Descendant was also left off of that complexity roster. KingNick, a bit of a journeyman so far this year, although he's been having a great year. Everybody from BitterSweet should have a chip on their shoulder, and a win against Quadrant would be the upset that they want to see. An upset to really set the tone and really pave the way for the rest of their tournament.
The problem is, Tony, we're facing Quadrant, one of the best strongholds teams in the game, on the most snowbally strongholds map in the game on here on Interference. So we'll see how it kind of pans out, but 100% agree. It's those intangibles that we continue to talk about that are a factor.
Double push out of Quadrant right over toward the gold corner, and Manny's kind of isolated right now, so Quadrant going to easily take advantage of that. Glory doesn't overextend, allows his teammate to put in that damage. Snipedrone did end up going down there, but Glory gets his, and the double cap is being held as we see Glory get aggressive, forcing to send it out, and he's gone.
He's on the outside pipes. Those outside pipes, I've gotten caught out so many times. I thought Descendant being on those outside pipes would give BitterSweet those bunker spawns, but instead they spawn on the carbine, and it flips things on its head just a bit. But still, they're not able to get C. Even with that spawn on the carbine side, C still gets reset by the side of Quadrant.
And this is exactly what we mean when we talk about snowbally type of maps. Like when we talk about the 1 down, turn to 2 down, turn to 3 down so fast, you're constantly getting cycled to the point where it's just split spawn after split spawn. Because the moment 1 or 2 players come off a spawn, Quadrant are already there and attacking them. And that was quite the throw by Kuhlect. He's not collecting them away, he's also sending them away too.
Yeah, he's sending them away. No collecting those plasmas, but again, that's a beautiful job by him, and you kind of got to do that in that scenario. You talked about the staggered spawns, you talked about isolating players to an extent, and Kuhlect was isolated there, and he threw the sticky, made sure to trade out his death as best he could, and it's still not enough. Quadrant still find themselves 123-37 here, leading with a 2-cap advantage.
But it is 2 down for Quadrant right now, so with half the members of the Blast Screen, the other half trying to figure out how they're going to navigate towards this overshield, this is a moment for BitterSweet to take advantage of. You should be scoring right now. You should be locking down that setup, and don't forget overshield's coming up. You got to multitask.
I don't know if you heard, Tony, but the ranks are resetting. You want to know who got the highest rank last season?
Who's that?
Sica. 3,700 Onyx. We're talking 3737 Onyx. The highest I've ever seen in Onyx. And guess who played alongside of him all the time? It was Snipedrone, and we find them both with double-digit kills, playing phenomenal. It's all that practice they put in.
3,700 CSR in ranked matchmaking.
Yes.
Not only is that a record, but that is an unbelievable number. If you're ever questioning Quadrant's grind, well, that number might make you look silly, but right now, it's BitterSweet that are looking serious as they push it for yet another triple cap. They might be down right now as far as the scoreline, but BitterSweet are looking to answer back, and Descendant is putting damage onto everyone. I think he shot me.
Oh my, are you okay, Tony?
I'm not.
Okay, well, we'll get you a Band-Aid later.
You don't miss.
Descendant Descendant, again, another player, like you said, coming off of being dropped from that complexity roster, looking to prove himself. I thought he was a great asset to that roster, but now he finds himself on BitterSweet where he can be an asset as well. It's BitterSweet still staying in this game. They're looking to get B here, but you see the push, of course, on the yellow corner. It's going to be Quadrant on that push.
BitterSweet trying to prove that complexity are going to miss his firepower, and as of right now, BitterSweet are loving the firepower that he gives off, but Quadrant still have a 135-92 advantage, and as they take Charlie, that is the double cap they're looking for. BitterSweet immediately out-rotate, heading over to the alpha side, but with nades and Snipedrone here, they're going to struggle to hold on to it.
Yeah, Snipedrone nades himself right there, but again, a great recovery to stay alive and be in this position. He can continue to pressure BitterSweet off a spawn, off that bunker spawn, but it's still BitterSweet with that AB cap. I think the next point of this match is going to be this overshield. Who grabs it and who does something with it?
I feel like our duo nickname should be Snipedrone. Like you're the snipe and I'm the bot, so I'm the drone.
You're not a bot.
That should be our nickname. Overshield in the hands of Descendant. Should be a big one here as Quadrant continue to have that double cap. Descendant and BitterSweet need every advantage possible. They need to get a triple cap of their own, but as of right now, Quadrant may come up with that one out of nowhere. Overshield does nothing in that engagement, and Quadrant have every single hold on the map.
Yeah, they've got the triple cap. They've got 3 down for the side of BitterSweet. This is where things get a little bit hairy, Tony, and you know I'm a hairy man, so I know what being hairy is like.
185 points here and counting for Quadrant. Glory right up the middle, right into the face of BitterSweet as he goes through the tower side. He's not going for a flank. He's going right through the front door, and a weakened KingNick isn't going anywhere. And Manny, he almost catches those hands as well. Snipedrone tried to come in for the cleanup, and the rest of Quadrant are there. They're covering each other's backs so well.
Yeah, the team that's not really covering each other's backs that well is BitterSweet. Kuhlect stays alive for a long time there. A lot of peak shots, right? Unfortunately, the timing on the bottom of C right there wasn't quick enough, so Kuhlect ends up falling. Still, though, they recover just a bit, and they'll get B. But again, look how much that lead is for Quadrant.
I mean, we obviously talked about Quadrant being one of the best strongholds teams in the world. I mean, at one point, they ran undefeated. And obviously, this roster looks a lot different from what it did before, but you still have an SLG, you still have a Sica, you have 2 great minds for the games that are always theory crafted. They put in the work, and it shows in their, obviously, their rank, like you talked about before, but also in their strategies, and their starting strats, and their mid-game strats, and okay, Manny.
The quick drop from Manny. That's beautiful. That's some individual skill that you love to see. Like you know, you always know you can do that quick drop, but sometimes there's a way you can do it so that the ledge is at your eyeballs, and that you jump back up and you can throw a fight off.
Glitch.
Yeah, essentially.
One shot. Kuhlect not able to get away. Excellent listening by Glory. It ends up being a 3 down, but at least he's able to take Kuhlect with them. And whoa! Sica ripping a double kill out of nowhere, but still 4 down go Quadrant. BitterSweet, you gotta hop on these bases right now because it's 221 points for Quadrant. One mistake, 1 round of slays, and that could be it for game 1.
Yeah, speaking of rounds of slays, I mean, Quadrant and BitterSweet, they're not too far apart on the slays, and in terms of overshields, they're not too far apart either. BitterSweet has another OS in the hands of Descendant. He's going to be able to use that to maybe secure A, but again, that OS doesn't do it a lot. It does get a trade, but that's not really what you're looking for.
Yeah, when you're down by this much, I mean, I think you need clean slays as opposed to trades. Where Quadrant, they're happy to trade out almost every engagement, except when they're down, which was a trip cap. Now, still a double cap, so that means BitterSweet are still scoring, and KingNick with some long-range shots. Glory ain't going anywhere but for the respawn screen. 3 down for Quadrant, full squad wipe, and BitterSweet going for yet another triple cap.
There's going to be a quick spawner here. It's going to be SLG and Sica. Glory's comes off a spawn as well, but my question was going to be, how are they going to control these spawns? You see they back off and they're content with that double cap, but when you give Quadrant enough space, they're gonna stop that triple cap from happening, and if you give them too much space, they'll turn the triple cap on its head.
Well, they attacked Charlie and Alpha at the same time, but it looks like BitterSweet was somewhat ready for it. It was a little delayed, but eventually they got the kills, got the reset on at least one of those bases, and holding on to the double cap once again are BitterSweet. They sacrificed C, but got a whole lot of points, and now let me tell you, BitterSweet are flirting around with a comeback, and something tells me they got the Riz.
Wow, this is a really good by the side of BitterSweet. They do go 3 down, though. There will be 2 quick spawners and Descendant and KingNick, but Manny and Kuhlect do fall, so this is going to give Quadrant a chance to kind of go around the map and make sure to get that double cap of their own. And of course, with Overshield coming up, this is a big play here for either team.
Good kill by Snipedrone onto KingNick, and excellent damage onto Manny from across the map. And again, the active listening, snapping onto that call out and landing right on Kuhlect's head.
Yeah, just you're so close if you're BitterSweet, but you don't capitalize. And unfortunately, I think that's going to be it, Tony. I think they're going to take it.
That they are. They weren't able to take Charlie, but it only takes 2 to tango. When Alpha and Bravo belongs to them, the moment BitterSweet hop on Alpha, well, they're going to do the same for Charlie. Hold on, Charlie gets reset. But so does Alpha. What a play by Snipedrone, getting the kill, and it was seeming a little bit bleak. Now BitterSweet have to adapt. They go after Bravo. Can they take it? It's so close. Bravo gets taken. Charlie and Bravo belong to BitterSweet. Right now, Quadrant are not scoring.
That was beautiful. You saw Kuhlect up there on the thruster, right? Plays his life, knows his team is going for that B-side nest. He stays alive, and he's able to stay alive for a long period of time. He just went down, but again, it's 232 to 246 now. Quadrant still lead.
They hop on Bravo, and now BitterSweet with the nades. Kuhlect gets himself a kill. Snipedrone's able to take down Manny, but he's not in the hill. KingNick gets the reset here. Bravo still belongs to BitterSweet. They need to slay out once again if they want to attack Bravo here. And I don't know if anybody's near Charlie to take out yet another one, but Descendant with the double kill. And now we see Charlie being attacked by Quadrant. They gave him on Alpha in order to go after Charlie, and we see a trade out in line, but Descendant gets himself the kill. Gonna take Charlie. It could be the comeback, and that's it. BitterSweet taking game 1.
What an upset we just witnessed here. BitterSweet. I'm going to be honest, Tony, I doubted them coming into this game. I had no idea they had this firepower. But again, on a map that you can take control that quickly, that you can snowball it in your favor, BitterSweet did a great job. They got the last, I think, 2 OSs in a row. That helped them, make something happen. I think it was Quadrant to go at that very last OS, but they weren't able to do with it, and BitterSweet minimized the value that Quadrant got out of it.
Let that be a message to all my new teammates in ranked matchmaking. Never give up.
Never say
I don't
what?
care if you're down by 100. I don't care if you go 4 down. I don't care what happens. You don't give up, because a win is always possible. And if you fight tooth and nail and you give 150%, it will pay dividends every single time. Let that right there be a message to everybody when it comes to match, when it comes to it. Do not give up. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are back once again with HCS Atlanta, your major, hosted by FaZe Clan. And we saw an incredible game number 1 where BitterSweet came all the way from behind and absolutely stole one away from Quadrant. Now it's Quadrant on their back foot against a BitterSweet roster with a ton of momentum on their side.
I mean, can we talk about this BitterSweet roster, Tony? They lost 10 out of their last 12 scrims. On the other end of things, you've got Quadrant, who out of 15 scrims, won 14 of them and tied 1. So we're talking about 2 completely different sides of the spectrum. And once again, my point goes true. It's all about what you do on lane, and BitterSweet are showcasing that.
That's one thing about Quadrant and ITB and any team that comes over to North America to boot camp. They get valuable practice, valuable scrims that they may have not gotten back when they're over, when they're across the pond. And they step it up. They take it seriously. They know that their org flew them out here for a reason to get that practice, and they want to provide value to them, and Quadrant have done just that in scrims. Now, it's trying to do what it matters most, because so far you're down 0-1 against a BitterSweet roster that, honestly, in Quadrant's position, they should be winning. That should have been their game easily.
Oh yeah, this is an upset potential written all over it. We literally started this cast and I said, oh, Tony, Quadrant 3-0. I'm absolutely Quadrant 3-0. I'm not gonna lie. That was my first words coming in here. But I love to see BitterSweet putting up that first game of the series. When you start off strong like that, you give yourself that confidence going into the rest of the series. We'll see if they can continue, though.
I'm not gonna lie, I looked a little crazy when you said that, and when I was surprised to the people at home. That's honest. That's honest Tim right there. I love that. Well,
stand on business.
I'm glad that you enjoyed the show and maybe enjoy some more, because as of right now, BitterSweet are only down 3, now make it 2 kills after Manny takes down Sica and Snipedrone. Although he has the Stalker, he's in the middle of 3 different members of BitterSweet, and Descendant was one of them. And Was is the right word to use.
Beautiful shots by Snipedrone right there. That Stalker potentially gets picked up once again by the side of Quadrant. You see it's in the hands of Glories, but KingNick with this camo, it gets removed instantly. That camo could have been used to potentially take this lead, but now Quadrant still lead by 2.
You're seeing Kuhlect with that high sensitivity. He gets to use that little bit of movement when it comes with the repulse, just flying across the map. Manny off the screen was able to take down SLG, and Snipedrone being a tricky kill over towards the tire side. Kuhlect high IQ to stay alive, wait until KingNick is there, and now it's a 1-2 combo coming out of BitterSweet. Will they be able to survive?
What a nice guy KingNick is, coming to save Kuhlect's life. I wish I had a teammate when I played in matchmaking.
Wait, what are you trying to say?
You never helped me. You just let you see, oh, you're on the planners, you just let me die.
No. You die so that I can live.
Oh, okay.
My life is more valuable.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, I am a national treasure, a global icon.
Oh, my
okay,
bad.
it is an honor to die for Tony. 22-22 right now. BitterSweet make it 24, and BitterSweet once again another come from behind swing, but Quadrant answered right back. Take that lead right back.
Yeah, that was great by Quadrant. I thought Descendant was going to win that fight on the top of A, but he ends up falling, and it was 3 down for BitterSweet. Still only a 1, make that a 2 kill game here. Quadrant leading, and they're starting to pull away with this. This might be another squad wipe here for the side of BitterSweet.
Camouflage coming up going to be really important. This is where I love to see both teams slow it down, stay alive, and really pick and choose which battles you want to get into. And Kuhlect, he chose that one. Honestly, this is an advantageous one, but he wins it. I guess that's all that really matters. And now Manny's kind of left by himself.
Yeah.
One shot and hunted down as Glory and Quadrant have the advantage moving up towards this camo.
Yeah, I believe that they will get the spawn that is BitterSweet on the bottom of C, so that camo's still up. It's still a factor here. Coming into the later half of this game, and I'm not sure who ended up picking it up, but it's still 34-28 Quadrant. Running away with this one just a bit, and maybe they just needed to wake up. Maybe there's too long of a break for them. Maybe, you know, this is kind of where they start to take the series over, but BitterSweet are not out of it just yet, but they are 3 down.
It's actually pretty crazy because I believe at one point it was either 24-23 or 25-24 in favor of BitterSweet.
Yeah.
They stole the lead like momentarily, but like you said, Quadrant ran away with it so far and don't look like they want to turn back. It's a double-digit lead as BitterSweet find themselves stuck over towards the subway side. And as of right now, Snipedrone says you can't hop the booth here. Oh no, he doesn't.
Oh, he
still gets the stick. Are you kidding me?
He got this stick on the tip of the gun. That was the longest bandit rifle I've ever seen. But great job again. Snipedrone having a phenomenal game here. This is exactly what Quadrant needs. 14-6 out of the side of Snipedrone. It has given them this lead, 44-33 now. This lead is getting out of hand here. I don't think there's any storyline whatsoever that BitterSweet comes back.
So with Legend being stolen from that SSG roster, it feels like the best player in EU spot was open. And Snipedrone, so far the way he's been playing, he's been kind of stepping into that role. He's been the man right now since London, and now going into Atlanta, one of the best players, if not the best, out of the EU with the way that he's looking in 45-38 lead for Quadrant. And it feels like it's only a matter of time before Quadrant win, not if they're going to win this game too.
Yeah, when you're Snipedrone, someone's got to step up on the side of Quadrant. We know what Quadrant are capable of. We just know, right? So if your team's not performing, especially in a game like this against BitterSweet, someone's got to step up, and that's exactly what Snipedrone does. 16-7 now out of this man, and only 3 kills away is Quadrant from winning this game too.
We switch gears over towards Glory. He finds himself behind both Kuhlect and KingNick, and those are easy shots that go off. And an easy headshot to take down Kuhlect for the 50th kill. Your final score line, 50-39, but it's one of those games that just feel even wider than that. With the way they took over towards that mid-game, I think it was after the 25 or 24 kill mark, Quadrant took over, dominated from there.
Yeah, it just gives them that confidence going in. They know that they're capable of beating this roster. It just gives them a little bit more confidence when one of your teammates goes off like Snipedrone did. You start to believe in yourself. You start to believe in your team, and you can go forward in this series. But we are tied 1-1.
Snipedrone 16-8. 16-8 with 5 assists. That's a 9.7 KDA coming out of the baddest man in the EU right now. Those are the stats that you want to see, and Quadrant definitely are happy they have him on this side of the booth, on this side of the monitors. They tie up the series, and eventually we'll go to a swing game number 3 after a short break. Guys, don't go anywhere. Somebody sound the alarms and wake up all of the old heads in the retirement home. We got ourselves some pit action.
I'm awake. I'm awake.
we call a little something different over here at Halo Infinite. We call it Empyrean. Got a little nighttime vibe on it on the roof of the skyscrapers. I ain't mad at it. 2 snipers overshielded a bit of rockets and some amazing players. Some of the best that we have in Halo right here, right now in Quadrant and BitterSweet.
Yeah, this is my favorite map in the game, and I always love to see the best compete on it. You see a flag out here for the side of Quadrant. BitterSweet playing a bit aggressive there, but the spawns come out, and they've got to be careful. They got to slay again.
And they do Snipedrone down to 1 shot, but he's still firing, and KingNick can't quite find the headshot, and Sica comes in for the cleanup. That is a quick return that's about to happen. It was almost BitterSweet, getting a little tricky with it, but Quadrant, they're ready.
Yeah, what do we see there, though? It's Sica and Snipedrone once again. When you play that much matchmaking together, you're constantly duoing in matchmaking, and you get to that high of a CSR, you have to build a little bit of chemistry. So many people talk about how matchmaking isn't great practice. I disagree wholeheartedly. You see it there with Snipedrone and Sica playing a great duo role.
There you go. Guys, if you're Onyx in matchmaking, you can go pro. That's what I heard. It might not have been what you said, but that's what I heard, okay? Multiple going down on both sides here. At least to a 3 down for Quadrant. Notice how Glory's immediately notice the team goes down. He's going to back it up, and we're going to play a bit of defense because you know BitterSweet will be pushing up.
So you got the defense. Now you just have to hit the shots. Hits the body onto Manny, but him in this position on top tower, so important. And I love the awareness to check the runway. You have to make sure you check every angle, and Glory's does just that. And now it's going to be 2 dead for BitterSweet.
Yeah, if you want to be in the position that Quadrant are in, you cannot ignore your flanks. You have to be watching every single angle like a hawk. And obviously Glory was on that, and Quadrant are on that flag. Kuhlect thought he snuck over from training to training. Nope. Glory's is still watching every angle on the map.
Yeah, it's just really tough. Kuhlect goes down. Manny's going to go down here as well. The last player is going to be on that sword side. Oh my goodness gracious, this Glory's now. We haven't talked about this man at all this series because we haven't really seen anything crazy out of him, but he's already starting off 6-3.
Shots from across the map here, SLG. Pushed up through the long haul side. He wants to provide some kind of reinforcement for Snipedrone, but Snipedrone ends up going down, and Sica's going to trade his life as well. Luckily, SOG in a perfect position to grab a hold of rockets. Will he try to keep this flag alive, though? Okay. A lot being handled right here from SLG. Maybe too much, maybe more than he could chew.
Yeah, it was a trade for rockets for OS, but he gets back smack. That's a big back smack by the side of KingNick right here. He'll be able to get this return. Snipedrone's going to play a bit slow, but the rockets will be true. He makes some waste one, gets a trade. That's not bad.
Multiple going down here for Quadrant, and BitterSweet are already in the base of Quadrant. Snipe tower control for Descendant. That should mean a training side run, but Snipedrone, I don't know if he spawned there, but I know he flew up over towards tower to break the setup that BitterSweet had. I thought it might have been an easy run, but I guess not.
A couple failed attempts for runs, but I'm glad they're running the flag, right? It's just, you can't get too over-aggressive. You can't get too scrappy. Make sure you're running with that numbers advantage, because if you don't, it's going to be a flip of control like we see here with Quadrant pushing, and it's going to be, of course, a potential another flag pull here for Quadrant.
Sticking with the challenge. Okay, Nick, you know he wins those. But Descendant with the angle, how did he catch that one?
That's beautiful by Descendant, utilizing this snipe to get that 3 down. Now they can pressure on the map once again, and this is exactly what the side of BitterSweet is looking for. You gotta show life in this series. I know you ended up losing that Slayer, but show life in this game number 3 so you can give your team a bit of confidence.
Only 2 shots left in this sniper here for Descendant. He wants to push up over toward the training side. I think I saw an opposition sniper as well, and it looks like he has to double back. Snipedrone has made it over towards the base of BitterSweet, and collecting Descendant needs to stop this flag from moving forward.
Look how many resources BitterSweet send towards him, though. Snipedrone's doing a huge thing by just staying alive on their side. He ends up going down now, but look how much attention he drew.
Should have went to 3 down for BitterSweet. It's more than attention. And right now, they're drawing blood at the moment here. BitterSweet don't have the defenses in order to get Quadrant out of the base. Like you said, Snipedrone makes a huge play, and it may turn to more than that. It may turn to a flag.
Yeah, the spawns come out on the snipe side. It's up to Sica to stay alive inside a shotgun. He's in a very important position. Look how Snipedrone's waiting for him to put pressure down. Now, he's going to end up getting double pushed here, though. If he can get one, it'll be good, but no, 3 down for Quadrant.
We kind of talked about it before with the way that BitterSweet, dedicate resources. It was kind of weird when they did it onto the defense, but right there to clear out their base, that's how that's the good way of doing it, I guess. And now Glory with a clutch kill, a clutch overshield grab, and you notice how Quadrant, they are all together. They are looking to slay out together and push the base of BitterSweet. Rockets are a deterrent, but it doesn't stop Glory's. Glory's lives, Quadrant gets kills, and BitterSweet are about to be infiltrated as far as their base goes.
Yeah, it's Snipedrone in there again. Look at him. He's in a position to try and pull this flag. The spawns are going to come out, though, and Quadrant's not really fast enough to help Snipedrone, but him getting that flag inside of Needles could be enough.
We talked about his ability to slay out that game number 2.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about his objective play here in game number 3. Snipedrone, again, the baddest man in the EU. And a large reason why that flag has made it so close to the long haul side is because of him. Glory may have it right now, but Snipedrone was the one who started that.
Yeah, I was talking to Onset earlier. He said that Snipedrone's got this aura to him, and that's so huge. It's going to be 3 down once again, and another flag pull.
The moment that flag cap goes in, SLG is already pulling another one. It's a flag trade. It doesn't stop. It keeps going. And as of right now, BitterSweet find himself 3 down. Kuhlect, he makes it down the green hall side, but you are a mile behind. Quadrant put on a bit of a clinic on how to 3-0 the likes of BitterSweet.
Yeah, that was just beautiful right there. Again, it gives you that belief and kind of wakes you up a bit and lets you realize that we are the better team. We are good enough to contend against and beat this BitterSweet roster, and they showcase it there. Those back-to-backs, I think, really changed the pace of this series. I would be surprised if BitterSweet are able to win another game.
Like you said, Quadrant got woken up.
Yeah.
I mean, that game number 1 should have been Quadrant. I think everybody who was actually watching the game like, oh no, Quadrant should have won. BitterSweet clutched up.
Yes.
And they really stole that one, but Quadrant controlled most of that game. That game number 1 definitely woke them up and said, okay, now we're going to game number 2. Let's play for real. Let's give our let's lock the freak in, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And they did the same thing in that game number 3. That's a 3-0 right there. And mind you, BitterSweet, we saw a few moments. We saw some good pulls. We saw some good setups. We saw some good slays. We saw some good things out of BitterSweet. But then Quadrant take over, back-to-back caps. You realize how hard that is to do at a professional level? Don't get me started.
It's very difficult. And even on Empyrean, you have those tower side spawns. You have the flag side spawns. It's very difficult to make anything happen with that.
Well, game number 4 about to be on the way here. BitterSweet want to send us to a game 5. Quadrant want to send them home. We'll be back after a short break. We are back once again with your HCS Atlanta Major hosted by FaZe Clan. And we have another banger for you. It's still Quadrant and BitterSweet going at it, a 2-1 series lead in favor of Quadrant, but they no longer have that hometown. They no longer have the hometown crowd on their side. Now they have to do it in FaZe's house. Can they get one more win on BitterSweet and give themselves, or put themselves in a position to have a great placing, a great seeding when going into bracket play?
I want to be honest, someone needs to come here at this venue in Atlanta and bring a trumpet, okay? I didn't get to witness or be a part of the trumpet at London, and it sounded great. I want to see another trumpet here. But yeah, like you said, Quadrant don't have that hometown advantage, and I'm not sure they're going to need it, Tony. We were just talking about this during the little break we had. I feel like Quadrant woke up. I really do, and I think they're going to sweep this 2-0.
We're looking for you, Native and Trey have a war horn. Not quite a trumpet, but could be even better. The war horn is serious, and so is Kuhlect. As he takes down Glory and Snipedrone. Beautiful shot with that shock, finishes the player off with the bandit, and more importantly, Quadrant continue to put points on the board as BitterSweet are 3 down, and there was the 4th.
Yeah, the control of the map is insane. KingNick somehow gets through on the timing, though, so Glory's is going to be in a situation where he has to 2v1, and you wonder, they decided to throw resources towards that elevator side. It's gonna be successful because the break happens, but you give Quadrant a lot of ball time here. 34 seconds already.
BitterSweet sends resources and bodies over toward that backseat setup, forcing Quadrant to play that ball. But 34 seconds and counting here for Quadrant. Meanwhile, BitterSweet haven't been able to score a single one just yet. Manny with a couple of shots on the Sica. Back-to-back kills here for BitterSweet. Tower belongs to them, and more than that, it's 3 down. 4 down go Quadrant.
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, this is exactly what BitterSweet need to do. They're going to get a bit of ball time off this, but the question for me is that right there. Will Manny be able to stay alive with the camo, with those spawns coming out on the C-plat? And he does just that. Now, they got to see what value comes out of this camo. Will he get a couple kills? Will he stop this push?
Got to use that movement to stay alive with the camo, and now getting a bit of value off of it. A kill wants a Snipedrone, some damage, can't manage the clamber properly there, and eventually camo is burnt, and ball ends up in the mid-map.
Yeah, I mean, 34-16. BitterSweet were only able to get 16 points off of that. Oh my goodness gracious, Kuhlect. Look how much damage he's able to do. The question for me is that damage going to get cleaned up? And as of right now, it doesn't look like it is. It's going to be 2 down for BitterSweet.
That's a great point there. You get damage coming out of Kuhlect onto 2 different players, but what does it mean if the cleanups don't happen and Quadrant get their kills and they get themselves some ball time? Now BitterSweet making the job harder on themselves with a 20-point advantage in favor of Quadrant.
I love this by Sica. Once again, gets that off spawn towards the bottom of White Tower or towards Elevator, and he's able to just do damage on the players pushing through that glass side. That ball now can be scooped up. It can be potentially held inside of pipes, and they've got a pretty loose setup here with 2 down.
Collect over toward the A side. Sica already wants to watch the gold. Couple early nades in case anybody pushes up too early. And meanwhile, I saw off a screen, Manny, the first one to go down. BitterSweet have to try to break the setup when they're a man down. Make it 2, because Sica don't miss those. And Descendant forced back. Ego chow bit.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, hey, be careful, Sica. He not the one you want to mess with. You mess around and find out.
I love the confidence, though. Even though there's a player with shock rifle there, you still attack and you still chow that fight, knowing that you can pressure the ball from other locations as well. Regardless, though, it doesn't matter. Quadrant hold that ball on the glass, and they're able to get more time because of it.
They are going multiple down here, so you notice dropping that ball immediately, go right into the fight. We switch gears over towards Sica, maybe down to 1 shot, but throwing nades left and right. With camo coming up, both teams want their hands on it, but Quadrant dedicating more bodies and being more aggressive towards it. Sica, not quite the pop, it's still down.
Yeah, it's still down the bottom side of the map, and there's 3 down for the side of Quadrant. Glory's the only one in position. He goes down as well, and with the spawns coming out on the pipe side, this is going to be a camo here for the side of BitterSweet, potentially. I'm not sure if they ended up picking it up. Snipedrone might have just scooped it up going towards the blue pipes.
Yeah, he was being very aggressive with that curve slide toward the triple stacks pit. Maybe BitterSweet didn't know the camo was down there, and maybe, like you said, Snipedrone might have been able to get away with that camo. I know he at least got a kill, and he's challenging Manny. Oh, it takes 2 just to take down that man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, Onset was talking about him. He's got aura. This guy has been grinding. You know, I talk about Sica being at 37-37 in terms of CSR and Onyx. Snipedrone's not far behind with about 3,400. So, like I said, these guys are putting in that work, and it's being showcased here. It is though Manny and BitterSweet that have finally got a little bit of control here. It's again, a very loose setup here out of BitterSweet. We'll see how long they can hold it.
I'll be honest with you, I'm too old to know what aura means. I don't have the TikToks. I don't know what that is. All I know is that everybody says I have negative Riz. Is that a good thing?
No, it's bad.
No?
That's bad. I'm pretty sure Riz is, yeah, no, you don't want negative.
I have negative charisma?
No, it's not charisma. That's not. We'll have a lesson later, Tony. But anyway, regardless, Quadrant doing a great job here of continuing to get this time. 83 points now, and like I said, I think this is going to be a 2-0 in this oddball game.
88-43 lead here. Quadrant have control, and the moment BitterSweet go for the break, that ball's off the map. No ball time for you, BitterSweet.
I mean, this is just great by Quadrant, being very efficient, even off a spawn. Look at the attack onto the pipe side from SLG. Now if he can potentially stay alive and that kill on Descendant goes through, this could be balled towards the blue pipes, and that's exactly what Quadrant want, but they need more kills.
SLG doing so much on the map. He's on cross-map shots, ball being moved, shots onto Manny. The man is literally doing it all, and with only 10 seconds DDR for Quadrant, Sica's forced to back down, but also stays alive here. With a minute 14 seconds on the clock, will that matter much in this matchup, or do you think Quadrant ended beforehand?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure if they'll just play time here. I think it's going to come off of the slays. They end up going 2 down, though, so, I mean, maybe things get a bit mixy here for the side of Quadrant. BitterSweet going to take that ball over to that elevator side, but look who's ready to attack. It's going to be Sica with a double.
What a play out of Sica. That is a confident play, and
No.
The ball was right there. I don't think, you know what? There was an angle from that doorway from Marley. Maybe trying to avoid that, but
yeah.
I don't know. I think we start styling a little bit there.
Just put a little style on it. It's all good. And again, we got to talk about Sica, 15-9, and I can't stress it enough. Practice pays off. These guys grinding as much as they do. I'm not joking. Every time, I haven't played Halo 2 too much in the past few months, but every time I get on, of course it's going to be Sica and Snipedrone on my team that carry me through those matchmaking games.
They're top ranked in the playlist, also top ranked in our hearts.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
And obviously the practice is paying off. 16-9 right now, 5 assists to go along with it. Sica has been absolutely incredible so far this game. It is Descendant and BitterSweet early on that ball time. Will the early bird get the worm?
Oh, that's a big kill on the Manny. That's exactly what they kind of want here for that entrance into pipes. They have that those elevator kills. Now look at the pinch happening from the gold side as well. But let's see what Kuhlect can do with this camo shot.
Yeah, it's a huge combination come out of Kuhlect and doesn't even want to go in for the challenge. Instead, targets the one shot, then goes in when on his terms and fights Sica. That was beautifully played by Kuhlect. Now we switch over to KingNick because right now BitterSweet got the kills, but they ain't got the ball.
Yeah, some confident plays out of Kuhlect. 19-13 here in this oddball game, but again, it's not enough. Quadrant are able to scoop up that ball like you said, and now it's another push waiting here for BitterSweet, and they've got to break through the Hydro side, which is tough.
Looks like they're trying to do some cross-map entry damage before they really commit to pushing up. There's some good damage by KingNick, but Snipedrone with the pick. SLG takes down Descendant. That must not be what you want to see.
There's just a lot of pivs won by the side of Quadrant. They're just winning their 1v1s. I think that's a big factor here. And not only that, you don't win that 1v1 if you do win that 1v1 if you're BitterSweet, another member of Quadrant's going to come in and clean it up. They're always playing together, but winning your pivs just makes things a lot easier. That being said, it is now 3 down for Quadrant.
And Quadrant wants keeping their eyes on the prize, and although they lose that Slay engagement momentarily, I mean, Glory still sneaks away with a few bits of ball time. And again, ball is played off the map. When BitterSweet get kills, they don't get the ball.
Exactly. It's just like we talked about with Kuhlect, 21-13. But what's coming of those kills, right? We talk about it all the time. Some kills have a lot of importance, and some kills just pad the stats. And honestly, it's Quadrant who are getting the kills that matter.
45-13 lead. Quadrant already have a 1-round advantage. This is BitterSweet's final opportunity to stay alive in this series and potentially get themselves a better seed going into bracket play. Honestly, this could be fighting for their bracket play lives, because if you lose this, you are not guaranteed to make it into Saturday. You will have to fight an open bracket team. This is a valuable and a very important match that we're seeing right now, and one that Quadrant have a huge advantage on.
Yeah, they are making a statement here. Look at SLG once again, making sure to clean up these kills. And I'm seeing that a lot. I'm seeing a lot of these kills out of Quadrant are a lot of one-shot kills. They're cleaning up the damage that's done. That is very efficient out of the side of Quadrant, and they're getting that ball time all the while as well. So you just end up in a scenario where we're very close to that 2-0 like I talked about, and we're very close to a 3-1 series for Quadrant.
The best teams in the world just actively multitasking. I mean, they're getting ball time, they're getting on those call-outs. I mean, look at SLG's stat line. 17 kills, second most slays on his team, and 105 seconds worth of ball time.
Crazy.
Hey, 505 seconds worth of ball time, I'm goosing.
I'm getting negative kills, so I hear you. I hear you.
Hey, I team grenade a lot.
I'll be off the map. I don't know. Regardless, though, I mean, it's 3 down for the side of BitterSweet. Tony, I think this is over for the side of BitterSweet as this rotation comes through. Very close for Quadrant, closes this out 2-0.
The moment BitterSweet starts to take advantage, starts to take control of one side of the map, it is a full-on rotation and almost a pivotal win coming out of Snipedrone right there. But once again, Quadrant end up going 2 down, and there's some life being shown by BitterSweet, but a mountain to climb if they want to take this one.
Yeah, BitterSweet's only alive because Quadrant are letting them be alive. That camo's coming up. This last break will potentially happen. They've given him that pipe side because they're like, you know what? We want this camo. Now the break is the important part. Will this break be successful? Kuhlect, he goes down.
I mean, he clearly saw somebody from across the map, but didn't see that there's a ghost right behind you. That's Sica. Sica gets an easy kill right there. And now it's Sica looking to get value out of this camouflage. Going to check the A spawns first, and now wants to push up through gold.
Yeah, this is a very important push here. I like how patient he's being, but it's just because his teammates are a little slower on the push. You constantly see, though, teams that are unhinged. They go by themselves. They don't have that timing down. You see he slows down the pace when he needs to, gets a kill even, and does damage to another player, but they end up 3 down once again, Tony.
I thought it was a good strat to attack from that glass side, that battle side, every side of the map, but BitterSweet, they won some battles their own. They know what's on the line right now. They know that Quadrant are 14 seconds away from taking the win and taking the series. So they're fighting so hard, tooth and nail, in order to stay in it. You got to empty the tank at this level of competition. And right now, Quadrant are getting aggressive.
Empty that tank and empty it quick, because at this point, you're giving BitterSweet a little bit more life than you would like to if you're Quadrant. Finally, they get that ball. You see the rotation towards the bottom center, but that's a nasty shot once again, and it's only 11 points for Quadrant to win.
I mean, we said it was going to be really tough to see BitterSweet come back on that one and make this a round 3, and that's just uncalled for. That is disrespectful. Sica, we're gonna have a talk after this. You don't do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, 28-16 out of Sica. Again, I can't stress it enough, Tony. Practice makes perfect, or close to perfect, as my dad used to say. And it's just really cool to see Sica, if you're performing at this level. It is against BitterSweet. I would love to see Quadrant kind of moving forward. I would love to see how they fare against the better teams. Obviously, they had that great series versus SSG. But again, you talked about the time. It's 2 minutes for SLG. Nice positive ratio. These guys are all-around players. It's beautiful.
I keep trying to tell y'all call them Sica when you cross the pond. When I was back in London, we called them Sica. When you out here in the A, in the ATO, we gonna call that man Sica, because he's sicker than everybody else in the lobby right now. The way he was playing, 28 kills, 10 assists, a 15.3 KDA. We talk about stuff in the stats, and Sica not only was doing the objective work, but also was doing the stats, was also stuffing that stat sheet.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Quadrant fares throughout the rest of this tournament, Tony, and I think that's our last series of the day, but it was great casting with you today. We got more action tomorrow. I'm excited about it.
Oh, wait, boy, I thought we were done.
No, we got more action tomorrow and Sunday, Tony. Isn't that crazy?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see you here tomorrow, because we actually do start off day number 2 on the A stream. We're going to see who makes it out of that open bracket and who wants to fight, because we love us an underdog
yes,
story.
Sir.
Who wants to fight their way into championship bracket, guys? We'll see you tomorrow. Congratulations, Quadrant. BitterSweet, your journey doesn't end, and all right, we're done.